What up, Baxton?
What's going on, JR? Peace.
Chilling, brother. How you
How
doing?
everything's well
Good, man. Good, good.
at home.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
home.
Yes.
Let's jump right into it, Baxton.
Okay.
Since you are the a branding professional and you've dealt with a large amount of clients, I really wanted to come to you with this question. What can people do during this season to either help their brand or evaluate their brand, however you want to go to it? I really want to pick your brain so then you can help people look at their brand during this time and like I said, during the season.
Right. Well, that's a great question. And for all those that are out there, businesses, small business, large business, corporations, everybody's feeling a pivot because of the COVID-19 pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
causing businesses to kind of reevaluate not only their brand but their business model. But from a brand standpoint, there are a couple things that um, they would need to assess. Um, Based on this disruption, a lot of businesses are going all virtual.
Right.
Um, if you're in the corporate realm, a lot of your employees are at home now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the retail realm, you're doing more promotional branding and brand sales through your online stores. And if you're a mom and pop or a restaurant, it's very difficult because in some cases you may have to shut your restaurant down for a while.
Right.
You may have to let go of your employees.
Right.
Now, when it comes to branding, the things that the main thing when it comes to your brand and brand awareness, brand integrity, is to continuously keep in contact with your customer base.
Yep.
How do you do that? Well, right now, primarily virtual online is going to be the key to promoting not only your brand message, but what values you hold dear to your business. And this is a time where, from social media strategy, creative strategy, you can design and push different messages out to your customer base to not only remind them of who you are and what you do, but
Right.
also you can create messaging around helping people get through this pandemic, this COVID-19. And I say that to say this is where the creative space comes in. Let's say you are a traditional restaurateur and you had to shut down or you had to modify your hours.
Right.
A good strategy would be offer online recipes to people at home while they're
Yep.
home. These are
Yep.
things that you can actually, ingredients that you can, cook for your family.
Yep.
And with that, that's once again, you're putting yourself in a place where brand integrity from your restaurant is becoming a level of trust where people will confide in your information and in your content.
Yeah. Baxter,
Right.
real quick, how do you feel about people taking this time to make sure the brand messaging is the same throughout the whole platform? Let me give you an example.
Right.
Some small businesses, for example, we'll stick with the smaller mid-level businesses, and some of their branding from platform to platform are not the same. It doesn't look the
Right.
same.
Definitely.
The messaging. How important is it, especially now at this time, to have that messaging be the same across the board?
Right. It's very important because why there are more people online now. That's going to be the channel where you're actually pushing these messages, pushing the content, pushing creative. So, right, your brand has to be consistent in a way that, once again, people can recognize who you are and what you offer and what you're selling them
Hmm.
in the midst of all of the information and things that are going on concerning COVID-19.
Right.
Now, with that, you know, once again, these are ways to inform and communicate brand values. You can talk about, how long your business has actually existed. You can get back to the stories about your business to
Mm,
kind of re-educate people on the brand of your business.
that's good. That's
This
real
is
good.
the time where they can reflect on, you know, um, certain aspects of quality, value, integrity that customers may or may not. They may have your product or purchase your product, but they may not remember why they chose you in the first place. So these are times where you can actually start to reiterate those things that are very important to your business to continue to, I would say, to set a standard where you can continue your business through this disruptive time. You know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it would be important too for businesses
Mhm.
while doing that and while making and while communicating and setting those brand standard. If
Correct.
they don't have a brand suitcase, meaning
Yeah.
the logos that they're using, the
Yeah.
creatives that they're using, and
Correct.
keeping them in a place where they're easily accessible,
Right.
right? If this would be a great time to do it because
Right. Correct.
when because you always hear we're too busy,
Mhm.
we're serving clients, but if you're not serving your clients,
Right.
this is a good time to do it. And I like the fact that the communication part that you were mentioning earlier, um, newsletters are huge,
Yes.
right? What are your thoughts into putting imagery within newsletters, and can you give, I know it's just like I'm throwing this question out there,
Right.
but like
Right.
any sort of specs, like what type of
Right.
image should be thrown into the
Well.
newsletter? Should it be
Well.
JPEG,
Right. Of course. Right.
PNG?
Yeah. So to your point, digital promotions with your brand are very important. So in a newsletter, quick snippets of imagery, call outs, actually links to some of your information, websites. These are very important. So
Yep.
I would say a 600 by 300 block image, that coincides with some type of content. These are standards, but the question is what type of content are you pushing? So
Right.
for instance, around COVID-19, there's a lot of things that you can bring awareness to your customer base. They may get information from the CDC, but now you can reiterate that, in your brand messaging.
Mm,
You can have messaging around how the company values you and we want you to stay safe. Wash your hands. Our company values our customers, take time, be safe with your family. These are things that bring that integrity back to the forefront of who you are and why that customer actually values your service. So I would say the content in itself, whether it be imagery around, lighthearted imagery, these are things that people need right now.
yeah.
Lighthearted imagery, very thought-provoking content, and then you can spin off, your products, your services, the things you're trying to sell, but just keeping in mind that it's a time to be empathetic and in some cases sympathetic about families and what they're going through.
No, I think you make a great point, right? Because I think we've mentioned in previous conversations, it's businesses are going to have to get ready to do a pivot,
Correct.
and adapt, right, to the changing landscape that's happening,
Yeah.
because of this. And with that being said, it's everything that you said,
Mhm.
and understanding that maybe their brand may look different,
Yeah.
from what
Right.
it did beforehand, and,
That's
and it's
correct.
and it's okay to
Right.
look different,
Correct. Correct.
as long as you're communicating and going through that change
Right.
with your current customer base, because
Yeah.
that can lead to new customers
That's correct.
at
That's
the end of
correct.
at the end of the day.
Yes.
And I'm a big believer as well, as because of the time that the majority of us have,
Mhm.
and you can speak to this as well, is that website presence,
Yes.
right? It's how does that website look? You don't necessarily, I mean, yes, you should have something your procedures and your policies of what you're doing because of the situation that we're in,
Right.
right? But
Right.
also updating it, maybe
Yeah.
with new creatives, maybe
Definitely.
with new ad copy, with new copy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've worked with, still work with big companies. You're seeing those changes firsthand that these companies are doing.
Definitely. And to your point, the web content and brand is geared around what? COVID-19.
Yep.
So websites that you go to now, you're going to see a graphic block that details the information to letting that user know, look, we know what's going on. We
Yep.
understand what's going on. Here's what we can do for you. Here's
Exactly.
a discount. Here's a coupon. Click here for more information on how and when we are open during this time. So to your point, updated, urgent, specific, clear, and concise content and brand content is very important right now. If you have a site and it's outdated, it has the same information, you're showing your user that you really are not up to standard of communicating what's going on. You look as though you're out of the picture, and you want to make sure that your content is current. It's being revised. It's keeping your brand standard, but definitely keeping in tune with what's going on.
Very true.
And
And consistent throughout the board. So
right,
if you're
right,
working with an agency and
right.
maybe the agency has ads out there on your behalf, reach out
Yes,
to them and have them change the call of action,
that's correct.
to fit. So if you're saying schedule, or come see me and come visit and your facilities are closed,
Right.
maybe this might be the opportunity to do a virtual tour, or maybe it's an opportunity to say, contact us by email, whatever it needs to be. So what
Yes.
we were saying before, consistency is the key.
Yes.
Keeping your brand current
Current.
is
Yes.
what I'm hearing. It
Yes.
is important. Do not pretend like this is not happening,
That's correct.
because if you do, you're showing a little bit of inconsideration to your
Right.
customers.
And lastly, like you say, take the time to re-educate about yourself.
I like that part. That's
About,
that, that's
yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Baxter, man. Thanks again, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it always. Thank you, JR.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Take care.
Take care, brother. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. Please smash that like button down below. The more likes this video gets, the more YouTube spreads this out for more people can see it. I do want to take the time to thank EMS, all our healthcare nurses, all our sanitation workers, truck drivers, grocery store employees, and everybody else on the front line out there taking care of us and our families. We appreciate you. Again, please hit that like button. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.